Hi, I'm Marjorie Poor, and I'm going to read two poems. The first one is from CB2, their emergence issue, and it's called After Images. After Images. From the plain, tiles of fields, swirls of sand, mottled gray earth tones, and dusty snow like the cool marble in the bathroom of the hotel I left in Toronto. What I tend to remember, the suspects I thought done it, not the actual murderer. The wrong turns we muddled through before mastering our dance routine, your touch in my dreams. Because she doesn't believe. If there's no documentation, how can she know he sent her a friendly email? Just because she remembers every word doesn't mean he wrote them. She can imagine. The ghost of pain in my hip as I stroll the hard floor of the library, climb the stairs with no hesitation, lightens my step. It's so faint. On the night highway, it is not so much the bright headlights reflected in her rear view mirror that blind her. She can get used to those. But her own, flashing off the car she passes. Like the time when she, a child, charged her bicycle into the invisible electric fence and lay there, wire ensnaring her leg, while the strong pulse beat her into stillness. And the next poem I'm going to read was in Prairie Fire, the Everyday Love issue, and it's called Desire. Desire. To know if the bridge regrets whispers lost on its railings, to crackle electric in a thunderstorm. Press my rubbery form against the ink pad of night sky. Stamp myself on broken sidewalks. She can't open her mouth when he kisses her anymore. She won't let him read this poem, not because he left her years ago, but because he came back as if nothing had changed. We stand on the Norwood Bridge, watch the current suck slabs of ice to the concrete pillar where they twist and shatter. Later, on the waterbed, we maneuver swells, plunge, crash. On the festival stage, his whistle, low, mournful, releases the breeze of Africa. She crouches, mouth open, trying to catch sound on her tongue, hold it in a tiny, quivering bubble. You are the cold metal my tongue sticks to, ripping, the pale skin beside the tan line that burns so red, blistering to catch up. In the summer wind, there is something sinister about the purposeful hover of a dragonfly. Like a shadow, the farther away from your light, the taller I become. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you to Turnstone for including me in this series, and happy anniversary.
Hello, I'm Sarah Klassen. I'm here in Winnipeg where I read and write and these days walk a lot. Today I'm going to read two poems, one each from my two recent collections, both published by Turnstone Press. Turnstone is celebrating their 45th anniversary this year, 45 years of publishing, of serving the literary community. Congratulations. Poetry Tuesdays is part of that celebration, and I'm pleased to be invited in. The first poem I want to read is from my book, Monstrance. It was published in 2012, And the poem I'm going to read is called Checkpoint. I wrote it after I visited the Middle East, and the visit caused me to reflect on the fact that as human beings, we are often quick to put up barriers and borders between us and the other, and maybe not quite so quick to make connections and to build bridges. So the poem is called Checkpoints. In this country, they'll pull you over on the road at checkpoints. Don't be surprised. At any ancient city gate, they'd stop you, demand your weapons, water bottle, everything you carry, even your name. You'd have to declare whom you love, whom you hate, whom you long to worship at the altar of this resurrected temple in this heat. My water flask is empty, yours nearly full, but though I ask, you do not offer. Or was it you who asked, and I, afraid, refused? The country we both long for lies ahead. Anyone may enter. They say water in the river running through it is abundant, pure, and also free. No need for flasks or buckets. There will be no checkpoints, no more weeping. Let's drop our guns, cast off our fear, and go together. Take my hand, and in the other, hold this stone. No, not to throw. This stone fits perfectly into your palm. Look, it is white. It has your name engraved. The second poem is from The Tree of Life, which was published in the fall 2020. It's the last poem in the book that I'm going to read. The book ends with a series of poems about trees of various kinds, and the last poem is called Green. That tree with a crimson circle on its bark is marked for destruction, doomed by Dutch elm disease. The emerald ash borer has moved into our neighborhood. We are afraid. We cruise the internet to find salvation for our city's canopy, a rot-resisting species we might import if our winters weren't so long, our summers not so dry, our resources not spent on fractured infrastructure, drug deaths, healthcare chaos, and how many refugees before we slam the door? The tree we want grows beside streams of living water. Its roots go deep and drink. Its leaves are always green. From its pinnacle, the eagle watches the world. In its branches, the sparrow builds her nest. Thank you, and congratulations to Turnstone.